and Jacqueline Peterson own 200 acres of forest land in Sedalia, Colorado. They purchased 40 acres of the densely unhealthy wooded property in 2003, and the other 160 acres in 2008. The predominant timber types are ponderosa pine on southern exposures and Douglas fir on northern exposures, with small clumps of aspen throughout the northern slopes.
When we bought it, we had no idea that we were going to end up treating it as extensively as we did, but thanks to Meg and also NRCS, so we were able to go through and do a lot of work here. So I guess that was initially why we bought it, is just to have a place to get away. We live down in the city, so we're going to just have a place to go to and run around on some trails and stuff.
That's amazing. How did this process start? How did you get in touch with Meg, and what prompted you to do that?
Yeah, I think, so I'm a master gardener here in Douglas County.
Okay.
And this was 2003 when we first bought the first parcel. And we're from Minnesota, and we really early on thought, boy, we're in a little over our heads. And so I was talking to our extension director, Joe Julian, out of the office when I was doing my volunteer master gardener hours. And he was saying, boy, you need to talk to the Forest Service. And he introduced me to Mike Boehm at that time, and Mike has since retired. But so we got in touch with Mike, and Mike came out, and then he really gave us the sad state of affairs of what we had bought.
And then Meg somehow introduced you to Derek and
yeah,
NRCS.
I'm the Peterson's Forest Ag Inspector. So when I first met them, they just had the 40 over there, and they had been just doing hand thinning, and I just looked at the property and how stagnant it was. Doug fir beetle, Ips, mountain pine beetle, spruce bud worm, both dwarf mistletoe and both ponderosa pine and Doug fir. So very ill forest and very stagnant, dense forest. Aside from fire, which is important, fire would have just probably burned so catastrophic and so hot that this would have been scarified. So when we did that, I was like, wow, these guys need some help. So I kind of explained our cost share grant system and kind of got their name on the list, and then we went from there, and then explained to them about the NRCS equip program and got them kind of directed towards you guys. So we were able to get a big grant here and some equip funds, and went away working.
Through financial assistance from the Colorado State Forest Service and the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service, the Petersons were able to hire the following contractors to do the work beginning in 2010. Brian Pombo was using the spider masticator. Frank Gresk was using the green machine and hand crews. Harry Spellman, hand sawyer, and Justin Cecil, logging company. Prior to thinning, wildfire risk was high for the property. The combination of heavy fuels, heavy understory of Douglas fir seedlings and saplings, and moderately steep slopes placed the property at high risk of heavy losses. They have completed 90 acres of upland wildlife habitat management. These management practices have enhanced wildlife habitats by improving forage for grazing animals such as elk and deer. Numerous wildlife species that have been observed on the property include bear, mule deer, elk, red fox, mountain lion, skunk, and turkey, as well as a wide variety of migratory and songbirds.
On our drive up here, I mean, I noticed that the forest was so thick that one could not even walk through it.
That's right.
Was there a lot of wildlife here at that point in time, or?
At that point, there really wasn't. No, there was. Every once in a while, you'd see deer, or there were deer trails through the brush and stuff. But since we've cleared it, treated it, there's been a lot more wildlife that's shown up. I mean, just deer and
Yeah, lots of grasses, and we've been seeding, getting seed from the district, and opening up trails, old skid trails from when it was last logged. And we see every time we come out here, it's an adventure. We're seeing more and more wildlife, more diversity, and much more quantities. I mean, for years it was really Chris and I in our chainsaws, and maybe a scrub jay, or maybe we'd see some deer sign. And now, literally, they're walking in the driveway. They're all over the trails.
Restoration of decadent plant communities can improve plant diversity with the potential to increase the number of bird species. Plants found on the property consist of currant, chokecherry, wild rose, wildflowers, mushrooms, orchids, and trees other than ponderosa and Douglas fir.
Let me ask you also, after you did the tree thinning, what kind of plants did you see after the tree thinning that you didn't see before?
Oh my goodness, we have so many. The diversity here is tremendous. I guess one of the things we're in the foothills life zone, and so it's a transitional property already. So just the different ecosystems present on the property, the south-facing slopes, we get lizards and rattlesnakes and cactus and yucca, and then on the north-facing slopes, the orchids. We have tremendous varieties of orchids, and so far I think we've found seven different species of orchid on the property, and the diversity of plants are increasing every year.
Exactly.
And it's been tremendous. And even like with the snags, we see the birds. We have so much more diversity with the birds. And one of the snags that we had left in an area on the other property, we had about 30 tanagers. And it was just amazing to see all these tanagers. And we get, and there, if you haven't seen the tanager, the bright yellow and red bird, I think they come from Costa Rica, and we're loaded with them in the summer now. And the bluebirds, we have so many bluebirds now, we never even, again, we used to see like one brush jay if we were lucky, if we fed it a peanut.
Just this past spring and into early summer, which we actually had a soils guy from the U.S. Forest Service come out because he couldn't believe that we had that type of equipment and that we had hand lopped and scattered the first round and then brought in that equipment to knock down that slash. He couldn't believe the recovery and the no damage to the soils, which is, pike granite up here, so very porous. So I was really, really pleased with what was popping up on those slopes over there. Kinnick and Oregon grape and native grasses, blue grama and some elk sedge, and a lot of the columbine that I hadn't seen when I was first coming on this property. So really a lot of diverse and nice comeback from the treatment. So I think you just keep after it. Partnered up and gotten some Colorado State Forest Service grant, cost share grant monies, and some EQIP monies, and their efforts and their zeal to want to actually manage the land. So it's a big kudos to you guys for.
I think it's commendable for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could never have done it without all of the help we've received, and just tremendous. And our passion is contagious. we see it with the agencies, and we see it with all the contractors, and how excited they get and how much pride they take in it, and they see how much we care, and it's fun to see how and they really want to come back when we call them and we have more work, or we've set aside a little more money, we want to do a little something. They're eager to come back, and they want to see how things are looking. So it's really been we're just we're so excited about it, and so grateful for all of the help that we've received.
Yeah, and the help part. I mean, there's it just it seems to flow. Working with you, Meg, and Jarek. Obviously, you've worked closely with you to get everything. It's kind of a process we have now, which is great, so that the contractors know they're going to get paid, and we know what the end result is going to be because we trust the contractors that Meg has hooked us up with, and it just all seems to flow pretty well. So
You guys are really to be commended for what you've done.
well, thank you. Couldn't have done it without you.
Yes, and that's why you're the Conservationists of the Year for the Douglas County Conservation District. So thank you. Appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you, Pam.
The Douglas County Conservation District would like to recognize Chris and Jacqueline Peterson as the district's 2013 Conservationists of the Year for their outstanding conservation efforts in demonstrating good land stewardship of our natural resources.